My name is Robin Lyn, and my channel is called Rollin' Solo. I've created this channel so that I could create some content about preparing for and living in retirement as a solo or single person. I didn't see a lot of content out there previously, so I thought I would take the plunge, start to investigate, start to learn more, and then bring this to all of you. And I hope you find it valuable. Now, my first video is a little weird, a lot of mistakes, fully scripted. So this is my do-over. I hope you enjoy this one. I will tell you, I enjoyed making it more than I enjoyed making the first one. So here we go. Let's roll the camera. I recently just posted my first video here on YouTube, really just talking about why I created this channel. And in total transparency, it took me probably 4 days off and on, not for a full 4 days, but off and on for about 4 days to record a 4.5 minute video. And that is largely because I was overthinking and really self-critical of everything that I was doing. So I thought it would be good to redo that video. The video is still there for all of your viewing pleasure. I will warn you, it's total cringe, as the kids today would say, but nonetheless, it's out there and it is posted. That video, like I said, I probably took 4 days to create it. I just this morning deleted over 600 clips that it took to create that 4.5 minute video. And what I wanted to come on here to talk about right now is why I felt the need to do a redo. That 4.5 minute video was totally scripted. I wrote every word out and took many, many takes to get it perfect. I don't remember things very well. I'm not good at memorizing scripts. So I found myself recording every single sentence individually as I was going along. It was so stressful. And I was in the search for perfectionism. And that just kind of describes how I've been living my life, is the search for perfectionism. I wonder if you're feeling the same, feeling like anything that we do isn't good enough. It's not, we're living a small life so that we're not noticed or made fun of or criticized. We're afraid of what people might think of us. And I think at our age, if you're watching this, I'm 61, and I'm sort of done with all of that. I want to be unapologetically me. So this is why I've created this channel. My channel is called Rollin' Solo. It is all about preparing for and living in solo retirement as a single person retiring. So this video is really all about me trying this again, all unscripted, just me talking to you to express why I'm here and what I'm trying to accomplish. It's just more of really what I wanted to do here is be authentic. It's just me being me talking to you. And I hope it's good enough. This YouTube channel is really about, I don't know if I've created this for me or for other people, but we're going to find out together. I'm really trying to get out of my comfort zone. Like I said, I'm 61 years old and, facing retirement. I'm looking to retire in the next 4 years on my own. And I have to reflect back on why am I feeling so insecure about everything? Putting yourself out on YouTube feels exposed. Like I feel very exposed. But I know that a lot of people feel this way. We grew up if you're around my age, we grew up in a generation, they call us boomers. I guess the cutoff is 1964, and I just made that cutoff date. But I'm a proud boomer, and our generation was brought up really not sharing things. It was frowned upon and taboo to share your life. God forbid you share your salary, or share your feelings. You never shared your feelings about anything. And, talking about sharing salaries, I remember years ago, I've had a couple of different small businesses on my own. And years ago, I was hosting an event in California, and it was a small group. I was providing some training, and one of my best friends, Wendy, was there, and she really helped me to put that together. She attended to support me, and it was a 2-day event. And I had an assistant at the time, Shayna, who loved to death. She was my right hand, and she did everything for me to make me feel comfortable and supported. And I really give her a lot of credit for all the work that she did for me. It was super helpful. So after the event, after this 2-day event, I noticed Wendy having a conversation with Shayna in a corner, and I later asked her, "What were you talking about with Shayna?" And she goes, "Oh, I was just asking her how many sales you had." And I immediately got my back up, and I criticized her. I came down on her pretty heavy to say, "Why would you do that?" I was really offended that she was asking for personal information about my income. Really, in hindsight, she was doing that just to, you know, gain an understanding about how successful the event was. Her heart was in the right place, but at the time I felt like she was, trying to um, not control my life, but more to, she was looking for private information. Again, I was raised with these norms, these taboos around information that we shared with people. You just didn't do that. More recently in my career, in my job, I'm working with people that are much younger than me. And a couple of years ago, there was a bunch of us that went out for cocktails one Friday night, and we're all sitting around the table having a glass of wine. And one of these people, who was probably 20 years younger than me, said to another person who's about 25 years younger than me, "Did you get a raise?" And they proceeded to have this conversation about their finances and their salaries and comparing notes on salaries. And then it came to me and they asked, "Well, what are you making?" And I, again, got my back up, and I just felt like it was none of anybody's business how much I made. And I think this is a generational difference. There are pros and cons with sharing this type of information. Younger generations from mine feel that it's just information, and they feel that by knowing how much their friends or their coworkers make, it will help them to ask for more money. I think that's a double-edged sword because, you know, salaries are always contingent on how long you've been there, the type of work that you do. Are you good at your job? Those types of things. And I don't know that it really serves a purpose, or an argument would be made if one person's making more than the other in a different role. And I don't understand it. I'm still not comfortable with that kind of thing. But more than sharing information, it was also very frowned upon for people in my generation that we just don't share our feelings or our experiences. And I think that's not serving us. Over the last few years, like actually over the last few decades, I've been fairly confident I can hold my own. But I've noticed in the last few years, I felt a real sense of isolation. And that could be because of where we were in the world a few years ago with the pandemic and all of that, and moving to a work from home type of environment. I rarely go out, and maybe that's contributing to that sense of isolation. But I also, I've been looking for people who are at the same stage in my life. I've been looking for content online made by people in the same stage of life that I'm at. in my same circumstances. What I tend to find are, and probably you see a lot of this too, are these very young social media influencers that are touting that they've made $10,000 in a month or $100,000 in a month, all on social media, and they're monetizing their influence. They're the influencers of our generation. I don't know that I buy all of that. I also am concerned about what that creates in young people. It's a lot of pressure to have to create content every day when you're linking your life to likes and clicks and getting your validation that way. I think it's a very dangerous road to go down. So what I've been looking for online are people like me, people in their 50s and 60s and 70s that are either looking to retire or have already retired. And, I've found quite a few financial retirement YouTube channels and social media accounts that, yes, I follow. I mean, there's the OG Dave Ramsey. And, he definitely has some great advice when it comes to finances. Don't think I agree with absolutely everything, but I think anything that you see on social media or in media in general, these days you need to take with a grain of salt. And you also need to figure out what's best for you. What works for one person or doesn't work for another person may not work for you. And only you can be the judge of that. But what I didn't find so readily available were blogs or social media accounts or YouTube channels that really focused on solo retirement, retiring on your own as a single person, because it is very different than retiring with a partner. There are pros and cons for both. I hope to explore those on this channel. And I know there are people like me. I know you may not be one of them, or maybe you are, but this is why I've decided to create this content. Again, I don't know if I'm doing it for myself or if I'm doing it for other people. I know I can tell you what I'm not doing it for. I am not doing it for clicks and likes and followers. I'm just hoping to provide or create actually a community of people that we support each other and we get each other. We understand what we're going through, because again, everybody's experiences are different. And the one thing that I've noticed or that I've discovered in myself is, as I see there are little bits and pieces for other YouTube channels that I see, and there will be little nuggets in those videos, in those episodes, where I say to myself, oh my God, that's me. And it's that internal validation that I needed to know that, somebody else is experiencing this. Somebody else lived this. Somebody else has questions about that. And more than that, it's knowing that, you know what, I am not alone. So I know that there are more people out there. I see that, I'm not a real Facebook person or a real Instagram. I'm definitely not a TikToker, although I do have all of those different accounts. But I don't spend a lot of time on those channels. But I have seen a couple of groups on Facebook for retirees, and they're struggling. People are struggling alone. People are struggling to make ends meet. They're struggling with loneliness. They're struggling with health and friendships and family relationships. But they're also thriving. There are things that people are doing that they're helping them to thrive in their lives and in their retirement, even as a solo person. So that's why I'm creating content, and that's why I created this channel, Rollin' Solo. That's my goal. What I love about content on YouTube, especially content made by people my age who are facing retirement or in their retirement, is that it's more authentic and real, it seems. There's a lot of reality TV these days. Personally, I can't watch it. It feels like it's sucking the soul right out of my body. And honestly, the little bits and clips that I see even on commercials these days make me think, oh my gosh, I just wasted 20 seconds of my life that I'll never get back by seeing that commercial. I'm definitely not a reality TV person, but I can appreciate why some people enjoy it, right? It's watching a train wreck happen. And, but that's not for me. What I really appreciate about these YouTube channels are people are, like I said, they're authentic. And this is real. This is not reality TV. What you're finding here on these channels, these good channels, are the real thoughts and feelings and experiences of those who have come before us, right? And they're just a step ahead of some of us. And there is value in that. We are valued. We should be valued because we have these life experiences. We don't have all the answers, right? And we don't have to have all the answers. But if we have each other, we can all figure this out together. And that's how we'll all learn. And that's how we'll all, find hope and community. And that's really what I'm trying to accomplish here with my channel. I've done a lot of reflection over the past week, certainly since recording that first video, that first 4.5 minute video, and the experience of the editing and, 4 days of different takes and scripting to get it just perfect, which it wasn't. Actually, the video, I kind of feel like it looks like a hostage video, but regardless, have a look at it and you'll get a good laugh for sure. But what I have learned is that there's actually empowerment and freedom in sharing these things, in sharing how you feel and sharing your experiences and sharing your wisdom. And that's why I'm choosing to do this. I'm still not comfortable, in all honesty. What I've learned over the last week by taking 4 days to create a 4.5 minute video and then deleting over 600 video files that I believed were horrible, and being overly critical about everything that I was doing, about my hair, my makeup, how I was sitting, the background, how I was speaking, my voice, the content. What I realized is that by sharing all of these experiences that I'm having, and by all of you sharing your experiences as well, there is actually empowerment and freedom in sharing these things. And, I'm not going to say I feel 100% comfortable doing this. I don't. I'm definitely not comfortable right now. I am doing this to get out of my own comfort zone. But what I do know is that the more I put myself out there, the more videos I create, the more I share my experiences and my life with all of you, the more confident I will become and the more empowered we will all be. Because solo doesn't need to mean alone. It means, to me anyways, it means empowered. So I would like to thank you for taking a few minutes of your day today to watch my video, to listen to me ramble, and I hope that you find value here. That's my goal with my channel. I really want to create value and create community for those of us who feel that we are alone. And like I said, we all have experiences and wisdom to share. And if you can take away a little nugget that makes you say, hey, that's me, that's what I'm going through, then, that's all I wish for all of you. That's all I wish for me. That's all I wish for all of you, because everybody has something that will be of value to somebody else. So thank you again for being with me today, and thank you for watching Rollin' Solo. Hey, real quick, I shot this as an outtake, and I wanted to tack it on to the end of this video just to let you know that this video was, as I mentioned earlier, It's very different from my first video, which was fully scripted. This was all about just me talking to you. And I got to tell you, so much better. I feel so much better. I feel so much more relaxed in my own skin. And this is how we're going to roll going forward. We're going to roll solo with the unscripted, real life, authentic version of me. I hope this is going to work better. Definitely loved it more. And I mentioned I had like over 600 takes in my first video that I just deleted this morning. I think I'm stitching this together with maybe 20 different little tiny pieces of video. So just wanted to let you in on that little secret. Again, thanks for joining me. Thanks for letting me be real. Thanks for letting me be authentic. Really appreciate all of you.